Every day and night, every night and day. I wanna love your body, girl, in every single way. Forever, my lady, like Jodeci. You see your body keep controlling me, and I'm trying to get it popping like it's ecstasy. But your body should stay close to me. We gon' get it poppin', we gon' get it poppin' and soaking wet, fuck around. Got your girls, man, they all upset. Where you at? Where you at? Where you been spending time? Got a man, I always hit you up, but you not around. I be on not a man, I'll hit you up on the phone. I'm head down to pick you up, baby girl, when you all alone. I wanna call you up, but I can't do that shit. Come over here, baby, you the one I'm rolling with. You the one I'm fooling with. I spend the hours, 1,000 flowers and tuna fish. Baby girl, you the only one that I'm dealing with. I swear to God, the MC Hammer cut you too legit. And didn't know that you my mama, Mia. Baby girl, you picture perfect like the Mona Lisa. Take you out to France, do it a little dance. Telling me that you love me, you posting it on the gram. And didn't know that you my mama, Mia. Baby girl, you picture perfect like the Mona Lisa. Take you out to France, do it a little dance. Telling me that you love me, you posting it on the gram. Baby girl, I got plans for you. Better yet, I made plans for two. Take your time, let me admire you. And baby girl, we get it poppin' like we supposed to do. We can start from the stairs, girl, I promise an hour. After we done with charades, we can jump in the shower. I'll tell the world that it's yours, baby girl, that is ours. Anything that you need in life, baby, I got you. Baby girl, you the one, boo. Cause you to be the one time to top I turn to. Girl, I really love and I do admire you. You the one that I need. Baby girl, you the one, boo. Cause you to be the one time to top I turn to. Girl, I really love and I do admire you. You the one that I need. Every day and night, every night and day. I wanna love your body, girl, in every single way. Every day and night, every night and day. I wanna love your body, girl, in every single way. We have to tell it and we're getting it on. Baby girl, tell me what you wanna do. Yeah, right. We can stuff on the bed, bath and beyond. Baby girl, tell me what you into. Yeah, cause every day and night, every night and day, I wanna love your body, girl, in every single way. Every day and night, every night and day.
Chair, I've been waiting too long for the car business under the hassle.
Wow, you get wow. You hear about the app in Liberia called Minida right here?
Minida, where Minida got to do anything?
Minida is a ride sharing app in Liberia that making transportation so easy. You can download the Minida app on your phone and be able to request bike, taxi, keke, big bus, small bus all around Liberia. And the good thing about it, every time you open Minida app, Minida will always provide you your pickup address. All you have to enter is your destination address. Destination address simply means where you are going.
So I need internet service?
Yeah, you get it. Of course, you need internet service. You have to be able to use your internet service and download Google Maps first. Secondly, you have to go into your phone settings and turn on your location. And then you download Minida app and begin to request ride all across Liberia. We're all fighting for a car and we're all standing long time on the road.
So how do I connect to drivers?
You get it very easy. The drivers will also sign up and follow the same instruction I'm telling you now. They would be able to turn on the location in the phone settings and download Google Map and download Minida Driver app. And then the moment you make a request, the driver will be able to receive your ride request. And another good thing is your family members and your friends from all around the world can be able to request ride for you in Liberia. You get.
So how do I pay?
You get. All you can pay with is your bank card, and you can pay with Lone Star or Orange Mobile Money.
Is that easy?
Yeah, that's how easy it is, you get.
So Minida that transportation made easy. Oh, thank you, my brother. Let me go download my app, yeah. Hey, transportation made easy, oh.
For more information on how to download Minida app and use Minida app, you could go over to YouTube and search Minida Liberia.
Richard, why are you looking so down?
I just broke up with a long-term partner, newly single and looking to meet somebody new.
LiberiansConnect.net connects single Liberians in the diaspora and Liberians in Liberia for love, friendship, dating, and marriage. LiberiansConnect.net is a membership-only website. You will not only connect with single Liberians, but also with singles of other nationalities who want to date Liberians. A private link will be emailed or WhatsApp to you where you can download the app to use on your smartphone for easier access. Take advantage of the promotional membership package from now until December 31st, 2022. The platform is free. Membership fees renew at only $5 a month beginning January 1st, 2023. LiberiansConnect.net, private, affordable, secure, connecting single Liberians home and abroad.
LiberiansConnect.net, exclusively Liberian.
Hello, my name is Winfred Russell, and I'm running for mayor of Brooklyn Park. With my vision of one Brooklyn Park, I will continue to drive to build a city that works for every resident. It is essential to safeguard our community in ways that reflect the wants and needs of all. Brooklyn Park must be guided by its residents, business leaders, and other stakeholders who invest in its success. I want more community input to help inform critical decisions, such as how the city should approach public safety, affordable housing, public health, and economic development. My goal in the next 4 years as your mayor will be to connect the dots between our hopes for the city's future and being a good steward of public resources. You see, vision can come from many places, but smart cities realize that engaging their community members in the city governance process leads to better answers and deeper public ownership of their future. Under my leadership, Brooklyn Park will become second to none, so our peers can look to us for best practices, innovation, and inspiration. So rather than working towards benchmarks, we will become the benchmark. So for an experience you can trust, vote Russell for mayor. You can vote now at the Brooklyn Park City Hall or on Election Day, Tuesday, November 8th. Thank you.
Are you in search of a credible, trustworthy, and professional real estate company? Well, your answer is yes. Realty Liberia Corporation is a solution to all your real estate needs. They provide real estate management, broker the sale or purchase of real properties, facilitate real property rental arrangements. They do property appraisals and title searches. Their effective and competent U.S. trained team boasts of over 30 years of experience working in the residential and commercial real estate space of America. They are a 100% Liberian-owned company located ideally on 4th Street Sinker in the Oregon compound. They can be reached on cell phone numbers +231 888 282 828 or 231 775 282 828. They are found on the internet at www.realtyliberia.com. Ladies and gentlemen, stop by today at their 4th Street Sinker office and tell them Henry Costa sent you.
Do you need a car?
Ready for an upgrade?
Then come to Sika Motors, sole distributors of Toyota vehicles, Mitsubishi vehicles, and Yamaha motorbikes, genuine accessories and spare parts.
You name it, we have it. We have the 2022 brands of Toyota vehicles. Select from our new Toyota Starlight,
Toyota Belter, Toyota Rush.
We've got the best deal in town. Through our Sika Motors financing schemes with selected banks, EcoBank Liberia and UBA Liberia, starting at the lowest as $500 USD. You won't believe these prices. Come for quality, reliability, and durability. Take a spin and let's make a deal.
Sika Motors on UN Drive at Sayotown, Bushra Island, or call Sika Motors on +231 775 987 758 or email cmarketing@cfao.com. Sika Motors, drive with confidence.
secure, super fast, and by far the most We all know the headache we go through sending money to our loved ones, friends, and family in Liberia. High fees, long lines in banks, the usual complaint of the system being down, such a waste of time and energy. That is why I was very happy when I learned that SendWave is now in Liberia. So now I can send money anytime from anywhere directly from my smartphone to the MTN Lone Star Cell mobile money account of a loved one, friend, or family within seconds for just a tiny fee. So download SendWave now to your phone from your Apple Store or Google Play Store. Add your details, and don't worry, they are very safe and secure. And start sending money today. Don't forget to insert the promo code Costa to get free $5 credit added to your first transfer. SendWave is secure, super fast, and by far the most affordable way to send money to Liberia. I'm Henry P. Costa and a very happy customer. Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. I'm not feeling very well today. Good morning, Waka.
Yeah, good morning, Costa, and good morning to our many listeners. It's good to be here on the first day of the 11th month, 2023, 10:30 here in Mayoral, Liberia.
Yeah, it's 6:30 in Delaware, folks, and started developing the flu yesterday evening. So I'm drinking this Terraflu thing, which is supposed to help with it. All right. So how was the weekend, boy?
Well, the weekend was good. Just been home throughout, following international news and both the local.
Well, speaking of international news, I'm very happy. I'm celebrating the development in Brazil.
So, yeah.
Former President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. I love the man's name. I think of Brazilians, they have these long names. Lula Samsa Gizi, this has absolutely nothing to do with the gym. You're so mistaken. Even yesterday, I went to the gym. People get the flu. Are you kidding? What kind of doctor are you? Are you a doctor? To start connecting the flu with going to the gym? People do get the flu, as I know. So Lula was president of Brazil from 2003 to 2011, and he did a fantastic job as president of Brazil. This is a man with very little formal education. He never went beyond the 4th grade or the 5th grade, and but he's self-educated. And Lula ran for president 3 times. He didn't make it the 4th time before he finally eventually won. And when Lula became president, one of the things that he's most famous for and why he's most loved for is his social welfare programs and economic programs that took Brazil, that significantly reduced poverty in Brazil. And the flagship of the signature program of his social welfare program was one called Bolsa Familiar. Bolsa Familiar in Portuguese means family allowance. Under the Bolsa Familiar scheme, the government of Brazil was able to provide federal assistance to families, financial aid to poor Brazilian families. They gave them literally cash transfers each month, direct cash transfers to poor families. Those families were required to do a number of things, one of which was if they had children, they had to ensure that their children were vaccinated. They had to also ensure that their children did go to school. You see that? So under this program, in Lula's first term, he was able to reduce poverty by 27.7%. Remarkable. I love the guy. He's one of my favorite leaders alive. When Lula left office in 2011, his approval rating was 80%. I mean, imagine leaving office, Puakai, with your approval rating at 80%. 80% of the population still love Lula. They still wish Lula had not left as president. This is what Luis Inácio Lula da Silva did as president of Brazil. So he was able to do things that just shocked the World Bank and all the international systems. That is what Lula did. Now, by 2011, the year he left office, 26% of the Brazilian population, 26% of the population of Brazil, they were already benefiting from this program. As of 2020, the program covered 13.8 million families and paid an average of $34 a month in a country where the minimum wage is $190 per month. Yeah. So imagine, this was remarkable. It was a great thing. And Brazil saw tremendous economic growth and development. Brazil, of course, eventually became part of the BRICS nation. The BRICS stand for, this is an acronym of, a second-tier economic powerhouse nations. BRICS, the E stands for Brazil, the R stands for Russia, the I stands for India, the C stands for China, and the S stands for South Africa, the BRICS. So it's fantastic. He also built millions and millions of housing units for poor people in Brazil. One of the things Lula also did was he focused on access to electricity. So the government subsidized electricity for poor households to make sure people who otherwise would not be able to afford access to electricity were able to get it at a subsidized rate. So Lula moved millions and millions of Brazilians out of poverty. 27% of the population. This man's a great man, very great man. Lula has more namesakes. There is no politician alive that has more namesakes than Lula. Let me break it down. There is no politician alive that has more babies named after him whilst he's alive than Luis Inácio Lula da Silva, the current. So Lula, in 2018, the government arrested Lula and they said they were prosecuting him for corruption. That he received bribes while he was president. That a certain company called, a big Brazilian construction company called Odebrecht, that Odebrecht built Lula a luxury villa somewhere on the beach. And so they grabbed Lula in 2018 and they put him in jail. They found him guilty and they put him in jail. He was supposed to serve a 12-year term for corruption. Listen to this. I follow that case very closely. He was supposed to serve a 12-year term for corruption. Lula went to jail and actually did spend 580 days in prison. Then the case went up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court dismissed the case and set Lula free after serving over a year and a half in prison. And the reason they put Lula in jail was because they were afraid that Lula would run for president again. Well, they were afraid that Lula would run for president. And when Lula left power, Lula was so powerful. That is how I want to be powerful. That is how I want to be loved by the people. Lula was so powerful that he handpicked a little known bureaucrat called Dilma Rousseff. He handpicked a lady called Dilma Rousseff. She was one of his aides when he was president. And he made her president of Brazil. Of course, Dilma Rousseff was impeached as president. They removed her. And the reason she was removed, it was not because of corruption. They say she went and made extra budgetary or unconstitutional budgetary allocations, or she went and moved certain things in the budget after the budget had been approved. Imagine that. Imagine that. Yeah. So she did that. So Lula Lula was that powerful. So the people say, Lula, come back to power. We love you, Lula. And ladies and gentlemen, Lula has come back to power. He beat the incumbent president. After spending over a year and a half in prison, he came back, he ran for president, and the election went to second round, and he destroyed the sitting president. That is how you can be powerful. When you serve the people well, as Lula did, when you lift millions and millions of poor people out of poverty, you add dignity to their lives, you educate their children, you improve the quality of their lives, they will love you. They will love you. They will love you as they love Lula. And that's exactly what we've seen here with Lula. So I am a very happy man that one of my greatest role models, political role models, Luis Inácio Lula da Silva, has come back to power. Yes, he is back in power, and Lula will continue to work for poor Brazilians in that country. Brazil is one of the most economically unequal societies in the world. One of the things that Lula did is economic policies was able to completely knock several points off Brazil's Gini coefficient. Now, actually, like I said, I didn't know what that means, Gini coefficient. On overall, all the economic indexes and all of those things just improved. Great man, great man. You see, when you want to be a leader, a great leader, you make it your business to study and know how other great leaders have done it. That's it, around the world. And there's something you can copy from each of those great leaders. And that's something I do. I read a lot about these people, and I know what. Go look up Bolsa Familiar, which in Portuguese means family allowance. But anyway, let's move on to other things. Let's go to Liberia. Now, according to, before I move on, let me tell you something interesting. There's a theory, it's not a theory, it's a geological fact, geographical fact. There's a geological and a geographical fact, or some would say theory, that there was something that happened called the Continental Drift. The Continental Drift. That under the Continental Drift saw continents that were once together as one. That over time, the tectonic plates way there, lying very, very low, began to shift. And as the tectonic plates began to shift, like the foundation, gradually the continents began to what? To drift apart. So it's called a continental drift as a result of the movement of the tectonic plates. Yeah, the boss speaking geography the morning begin. So according to the theory of the continental drift, Brazil once connected with Liberia. According to the theory, that when you go up to Maba Point, up there, at that part of Maba Point used to fit perfectly with Brazil. It's like a puzzle. They interlock, and over time, they drift apart. But when you try to bring them back together, they would fit. It's called a continental drift. So Brazil and Liberia, they used to interlock. They used to connect. They used to be together before, but they've drifted. Just so you know that, folks. And right up there, from Maba Point, we used to like it. I heard that way back in the day. But anyway, good morning and welcome to the Costa Show. Today is it's a beautiful day, and we're very glad to be here. We want to send a shout out to our friends at Sika Motors. If you're looking to buy a brand new Toyota vehicle and you don't want to even pay cash down, and you once you meet the basic minimum qualifications criteria, they work with a number of select banks. You can go to Sika Motors and drive out of it with a brand new Toyota vehicle for about $500 a month. It's beautiful. Now, staying on Sika Motors, Mr. Emmanuel David, over the weekend, took a beautiful wife. And we want to congratulate Mr. Emmanuel David on his marriage. And there was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. I've seen some pictures. Mr. Emmanuel David and your darling wife. I gotta call a woman's name. I can just call Emmanuel's name. It will not be fair. Mrs. Abigail M. David. They had a beautiful ceremony this weekend, and we want to congratulate the both of them. October 29th is when the wedding took place. That was on Saturday. So Mr. and Mrs. Emmanuel and Abigail David, congratulations to you both on tying a knot. And we're very happy for the both of you. Very, very happy. I also want to say happy birthday to a big brother for whom I have a great deal of respect, Councillor Jackie Bruce. I wish you many more happy returns of your birthday, and may God continue to bless you abundantly. Good. Now, Wagai, I just want to say this. I've heard about the situation regarding Liberian foreign mission employees, for those who work for our diplomatic missions around the world. They say they are catching hell. They are catching hell. The mission has not been sending, or the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, or the Ministry of Finance, right? They've not been paying these people on time. They've not been sending their allowances, the money for their rental money. We're hearing all kinds of horrible stories about Liberian diplomatic mission or Liberian diplomatic mission employees getting evicted from their apartments abroad. I'm telling you, all over the place. We're hearing that people are getting kicked out of their apartments. Some of them are having their light bill, their electricity turned off, and their heat turned off, or the heating. And it's very sad, Waka. They can't make their rent. They can't pay their bills because the government has not been remitting their money on time. And so they're getting in trouble. They're getting in trouble. It's very, very sad. It's extremely sad. And we want to call on the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And the sad thing is, Bwakai, these Liberian staffers at these various missions that are experiencing this thing, and it says it's happening right across. This is not just unique to one particular country. It's happening all over the place. Imagine you're living in countries such as the UK, and you're working for the Liberian embassy there, and you have a problem, whereby I think it's winter now. It's fall. We're about to enter winter. It's about to be very cold, and you're getting evicted. You're getting evicted because you can't make the rent, or you're having your electricity turn off, or your heating turn off. This is the West. When you owe your rent and you don't pay it on time, they can evict you. They can eject you from that apartment. If you don't pay the electricity bill, nobody's going to come to tell you to pay. They can switch it off. This is what our mission employees are going through all over the world. And they've reached out to me. They reached out to me to cry out for them. It's horrible an experience that they're going through. Send the people their money, send their rent money, so that they can pay their rent, so that they will not have to be evicted. You know? You see, face Boris Freeman. Some of you ain't get sense. You want the people to issue statements. So they can retribute against them. You want the mission staffers to complain, to issue statement and say we have not received our rent money. Is that what you want them to do? While they are posted abroad in a foreign country. You want them to come out and start blasting so that they can run into trouble. You see, some of you are just selfish and you're just bad. Because if you were in that position, if you
won't do it
in some distant Liberian diplomatic mission, and the government was not giving you the money to pay your rent and to pay your bills, would you go out there and issue a statement and run the risk of getting reprised against?
Nope.
Getting punished?
Nope.
They will use you to set an example. They will disgrace you. How can you want the people to risk themselves like that while they're posted abroad? You know how Liberians are. Liberians are wicked people. The government's not going to care that you're in a foreign country. They're going to treat you bad. They're going to treat you bad. So people are afraid to speak out. And so don't come here talking about there's nothing sad about it. They should speak up for themselves. And besides, they don't need you to feel sorry for them because you're not a good person. Because if you were a good person, you would care. And I'm sure if you had your brother, your loved one, or a friend working at one of those missions, you would care. But I'm sure since you don't have anybody that you do not care, these people cannot go issue statements and start complaining that they're not getting paid. They will not do that. They'll come to people like us to speak out for them. And that is why we're here. And if you do not care about what's happening to them, you are a shameless, heartless person, and you might as well just keep quiet. That's what you should do. They are Liberians. These are not government officials. They are ordinary public servants, civil servants, who happen to be posted at these missions. Talking about my emotion is my problem. Your stupidity is my problem. Your stupidity is my problem. Your heartlessness is my problem. Your insensitivity is my problem. Your lack of compassion is my problem, not my emotion. My emotion is my reaction to your heartlessness, your insensitivity, and your lack of compassion. And I don't like human beings who are not compassionate about their fellow man just because the situation does not bother you personally, so you do not care about it. Nonsense. Some of you just offend people. You see something we're talking here, you're not interested, you don't care, just keep quiet. That's what you do. So, we're going to make an issue of this. The government is a disgrace. The Minister of Foreign Affairs is a disgrace. They need to ensure that the people they send abroad, these people are not big shots children. These are ordinary Liberians. They rely on that money to be able to live in those countries, to pay their rent, to pay their utility bills. You can't send them to those countries and abandon them. It is wrong. It is wickedness. Now, we're going to move on to something else here. So, Bagai, on Friday, the Liberty Party did their protest at the headquarters of the National Elections Commission. We were on the show and we're talking about it, and I'm glad that many of my COP folks were there. The youth wing led a team of our people there to show solidarity with the Liberty Party. The statement, I think it was impressive. what Yombly and her folks did. It was good. Then on Saturday, Bogart, I stumbled across a video on Facebook of Musa Belete in Grand Bassa. Musa Belete was in Grand Bassa, and Belete was speaking, was at the head, the Grand Bassa office of the Liberty Party. In the foreground, or in the background, I saw people painting what a building that looks like the Liberty Party Bassa headquarters. They had colors and all. You know, the green and white?
Yeah.
They were painting. Now, Belete, listen to this, Baga. Listen very keenly. Belete knows, and everybody knows, that Yombly is trying to be the vice president. She's trying to be the running mate to Joseph Boakai. Everybody knows that by now. Yombly has not hitting her political aspirations. And by the way, it is Yombly's right. It is Yombly's right to want to be vice president. And I will defend her right any day. Now, defending her right does not necessarily mean I have made a decision to support Yombly to be vice president to Joseph Boakai. I will not publicly tell you anybody who I support for vice president to Joseph Boakai. I will not tell you that. I will let Joe Boakai make his decision, who he's going to make his vice president, and whoever Joe Boakai picks as his vice president, I will support that person. And the reason why I will not campaign for anybody to be vice president of Joseph Boakai is very simple. Joseph Boakai and I are very, very close. Before Joseph Boakai picks somebody to be vice president, there will be few people that will know, and I will be one of those that will know that. So I cannot come here before he makes his decision in consultation with people like myself and start advocating for John Brown to be VP or for Mary to be VP. Because of my proximity, because of my relationship with Joe Boakai, it would not be the appropriate thing to do to campaign for anybody to be VP. But you understand my point, right?
I understand.
If I was just some distant supporter of Joe Boakai, it's okay. But Uncle Joe and I have a very special relationship. So I will not be part of a camp to advocate for anybody to be his VP. I will not do that. But I will defend Yombly's right, and I will defend anybody's right to want to be his VP. Now, let me go back to what I was saying. So that is my decision. So don't expect me to come on here and say, oh, I support Mary to be VP. I don't support John Brown. I don't support Paul, and I'm not against any one of them. Yombly is a good big sister of mine. We have a fantastic relationship. We don't always see eye to eye on politics, but I have a lot of respect for her, and I know the feelings are mutual. We have fought many battles together. I have fought many battles for her, and I will continue to stand by her. Now, having said that, back to what I was saying. Musa Belete knows that Yombly Kanga Lawrence wants to be vice president to Joe Boakai. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So what Musa Belete is now doing, he's trying to ensure that Yombly does not become vice president to Joe Boakai. That is Belete's strategy. That's his strategy. Over the weekend in Bassa, I watched this video, Boakai. I will find it so you all can watch it. We'll play it. Belete said that Yombly is trying to be president to Joe Boakai, and that Joe Boakai is a politician, and that Joe Boakai understands the crisis in Liberty Party. So Joe Boakai cannot pick Yombly to be his vice president. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay. How is that his business? Boakai, listen. Huh? Boakai, how is that his business whether Joe Boakai picks Yombly or not? Because you see, Belete is on a mission. I keep telling you. Belete is not on a mission for Alice Cummings. Yeah. Yeah. Where would some of you get this thing? Ability is on a mission for George Weah. Ability's mission is very simple. How can we ensure that the Liberty Party is destabilized? This is a party that is the third largest political party in the country. Keeping Liberty Party fractured and destabilized helps George Weah. It does not help anybody in the opposition. It helps George Weah. So Belete said that Joe Biden a politician. Joe Biden been around for long. Joe Biden know better. You cannot pick Yombly to be a VP because Yombly, her party got trouble. Oh, so you know that Liberty Party is in tatters. You put it in tatters. And now you're telling Joe Biden, you cannot pick this woman to be your VP because you would be inheriting Liberty Party's wahala. You see what?
I think one of his point was that picking Yombly as, running mate to Joe Boakai, it will not help him politically because the numbers were trapped with a divided Liberty Party. That was one of Musa's point. And I think there are some.
There will be no number divided. But
because
I'm sorry for you. So where the other number going? When you say the numbers will be divided politically, listen now. Again, I say I'm not supporting Yombly for VP. I'm not supporting Yuri for VP. I'm not supporting anybody for VP. I want to make that clear. Anybody that Joe Biden picks, a decision that I will be a part of making, I will support that person. Anybody my Uncle Joe announces, I will support that person. But I'm not part of this. I'm not going to campaign for anybody. Now, but having said that, let me say this. You're saying that if picking Yombly would mean that it would not be a very productive decision or politically prudent decision because the votes in Liberty Party would be divided.
Yeah.
Divided between who and who?
Divided between the two factions, the Yombly's faction and the Musa faction.
Wait. So you actually believe that Belete divides votes with Yombly?
With those that have started supporting Musa.
Okay. What do you think the percentage is?
The last time
on a scale of 100%, what percentage of the Liberty Party support does Belete control, and what support of the Liberty Party control? I mean, the Liberty Party's base does Yombly control? Tell me.
With the support of Charlene to Musa.
Charlene. Well, stop showing again.
Charlene to Musa.
Charlene.
Is it's something that you have to look at critically, Costa.
Right,
I'm saying
I beg you.
Costa, I'm saying this because Costa, I have interacted with her in person. I know what I'm saying.
You in either way who?
Charlene. I know.
But we're not talking about Charlene. But we're not talking about Charlene. Do not bring Charlene into this conversation. And let me say this to some people. And I want to just make this clear to some people. I've heard some Yombly people say that they are uncomfortable with my support for Charlene Bromsky. I want to make this very clear. Just because I support Yombly does not mean I will inherit all of Yombly's political enemies. I will not. I will not inherit all of the political enemies. Charlene Bromsky is not a political rival to Yombly Kanga Lawrence. Charlene Bromsky is not advocating to become or vying to become political leader of Liberty Party. Charlene Bromsky only wants to become representative in Grand Bassa.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
Listen, Yombly and Charlene are not rivals. They are not even at the same level politically. Charlene is not trying to take over Yombly or to undermine Yombly. Charlene is only trying to ensure that she protects her own political interests, just as Yombly is trying to protect her own political interests. Yombly wants to be VP. Charlene wants to be representative. You see me? Let me tell you something about Henry Costa that you don't know. That some of you still don't know yet. I like to be fair. I like to be fair. Charlene is not trying to be standard bearer of Liberty Party. Charlene is not trying to take Yumbli's spot. Charlene is not trying to be vice president. Yumbly is. Yumbly is the leader of Liberty Party. Yumbly is trying to be vice president, which is Yumbly's right, and I defend her right any day. Charlene is trying to be representative in Grand Bassa, and I defend Charlene's right. So I can walk into God. The two interests, the two individuals, and their respective interests are mutually exclusive. They are. They are not the same. Charlene wants different thing, Yumbly wants different thing. Some of you complain, oh, Costa, how you can say you supporting Yumbly and you supporting Charlene? First of all, I'm not a member of the Liberty Party. I do not intend to become one. I am not obligated to Liberty Party. I support what's right. And what's right is Yumbly's, what Yumbly is going through at the hands of Ability, who has been financed and supported by this government, is wrong, is criminal, and is unfair. That's why I support Yumbly. Charlene Bromsky is a young lady I have a great deal of respect for. And let me tell you something. Has Charlene Bromsky come out to say anything negative about Yumbly?
She won't, but
I will
making a point. I want to make a point. Just finish.
I'll come in. Mike Fire David says, but she supports Yumbly prime enemies. Do you think everybody that's against Yumbly, I will be against that person? This is the mistake you make. The mistake you make is that I don't have to support or be against anybody that is against Yumbly. No, because I do not belong to Yumbly's party. I'm not in Yumbly's camp. The people in Yumbly's camp are the people who are supposed to make enemy with everybody that is enemy with Yumbly. I am not. I'm Henry Pedro Costa. I support Yumbly where Yumbly is being treated unfairly, unjustly. I support her there. But because Charlene Bromsky decided to take one other side, so I should go and turn against Charlene. No, Charlene Bromsky is not Yumbly's rival. Yumbly and Charlene are not on the same level politically. Politically, Yumbly is here. Charlene is here. Charlene is only trying to enter politics now. Charlene wants to run for representative in Grand Bassa. And I support Charlene Bromsky and I support Bromsky. Yumbly Kanga Lawrence. Period. It is as simple as that. If you all don't understand it, that's it. I make no apologies. Now, I would not want Charlene Bromsky to come out advocating for Cummings. She wants to run on her party ticket in Grand Bassa. Let her run on her party ticket in Grand Bassa. I support her 100%. Even if I have to raise money for Charlene Bromsky, I will raise money for Charlene Bromsky. This is just who I am. You shouldn't think about me. You gotta accept who I am, or you don't accept it, and I don't really care. It is as simple as that. Charlene Bromsky has a birthright to run on Liberty Party ticket. Waka, I'm coming. I will let you speak. Please, I'm sorry. Okay. Let me make this point. I beg you. Charlene Bromsky has the right to run on her party ticket. Her party built the party. She wants to run for representative. It is all her inheritance. So nobody should get mad at her. Yumbly Kanga Lawrence is the leader of this party. And I recognize her as such, and I support her as such. But for anybody to expect, because I support Yumbly, so I should go and start attacking Charlene, because Charlene decided to support the Ability faction, then you don't understand politics. You think all of our friends are in the same camp as we are? You're wrong. You're very wrong. But I gotta make your point.
Okay, my point here is that Yumbly is supporting somebody against Charlene in Grand Bassa County. And you don't
I have heard that. I do not know that for a fact, but I have heard it from a very reliable source.
Okay. And you don't expect Charlene to sit quietly without participating in a presidential election. She will want to make her voice heard and who she's supporting, because she has a base. They will be depending on her to come up with who they should support, and she will make that recommendation. That's the first point. And Charlene can be with Berete, and you think that she will not support Cummings. It doesn't work. Once she have pull off her weight behind Musa Berete, the fashion of Musa Berete.
Even if Charlene Bromsky supports Cummings, I will still support Charlene Bromsky for representative. Okay. Even if Charlene Bromsky supports Alice Cummings for president, I will still support Charlene Bromsky for representative.
Okay, so now we can Costa, we can wrap back to the issue about picking Nyombli as the vice presidential candidate to Boakai. If Charlene, who father owns the Liberty Party,
he does not own the party, he founded the party.
Okay, give birth to the Liberty Party, blah blah blah. Come on and support Cummings and Boakai handpick Nyombli as his running mate. What become of Grand Bassa County? It become a divided county with Liberty Party, Musa Fashion, and Nyombli.
I will still support Charlene for representative.
So you see, that's what that's my point. So picking.
I don't know how many times you want me to say this. If Charlene Bromsky running for representative, she's not running against Joseph Boakai. I will still support Charlene Bromsky for representative. It is as simple as that. Very, very simple. And you see, I make my decisions and I stand by my decisions. I want Charlene Bromsky in the House of Representatives. She's a brilliant, brilliant young woman who will make a great deal of contribution in the House. For me, it's not about party. I've told you people this thing over and over. It's not about party loyalty for me. It's about country. What Charlene would bring to the legislature. If Charlene Bromsky supports Alice Cummings, I will still support Charlene Bromsky for representative. For representative. I'm just clear. But here's what I can tell you. The people of Grand Bassa County will support Joseph Boakai. They see people that will vote for Charlene Bromsky, they will vote for Joseph Boakai as president. They will give Charlene Bromsky the representative votes, and they will give Joe Boakai the presidential votes. It is as simple as that. Okay. Those same people will give. Who came second in Grand Bassa the last time, Boakai? Which candidate came second place in Grand Bassa? In the last election? No. Oh, sorry. Councillor Charles Bromsky, of course, won Grand Bassa County. Okay, but now that he's not there. Unity Party came third, I believe, in Grand Bassa. Don't forget, Cummings. How did Cummings perform in Grand Bassa? Very poorly. Charlene Bromsky will not deliver those votes to Cummings in Grand Bassa. She would not. She would not. Let me tell you something. Charlene Bromsky has my support, whether she supports Joe Boakai or not. Her support for Cummings will not help Cummings in Bassa. You understand me? Will not. Okay. Joseph Boakai will win Grand Bassa County. Joseph Boakai will win Grand Bassa County. It is as simple as that. Let me tell you something. Today, it's easy for you all to sit down and blast at Charlene Bromsky. That's your business. Charlene Bromsky did not start this crisis in Liberty Party. As a matter of fact, somebody please send me the video where Charlene Bromsky warned against making Musa Belede chairman. The video is out there. Somebody send it to me, please. The other day, somebody sent it to me. I don't remember who. Charlene Bromsky did not create this problem in Liberty Party. She did not. She did not create this problem. She was against Musa Belede. That today you want to make it loaded that Charlene created a problem. You want to blame her? Me, I like to be fair. I will tell everybody the truth. If you want my support, you must accept my support with me telling you the truth. Charlene Bromsky did not support Belede for chairman. She was against Belede being made chairman. You understand? So it is as simple as that. Charlene Bromsky can run in Grand Bassa. She will be focused on getting elected herself. Charlene Bromsky will not be able to deliver votes to Cummings. But she has a good shot at becoming representing Grand Bassa. Don't underestimate her. She's not running simply because her father was Charles Bromsky. She has been involved with the community there. So that is my position on the matter. I've made it clear, and my position on the matter will not change. It is as simple as that. It is as simple as that. She told them. That's true, Samuel Sakama. Charlene supported Steve Zago. She supported Steve Zago. You see? Oh yeah, Emma, go out. My point doesn't have to make any sense to you. I do not care. What my point makes sense to you? I support Youngly, but I support Charlene also. It is as simple as that. And guess what? The Youngly people are not happy about that. But then again, I'm not a member of their party. They don't get to dictate who I support, who I don't support. But I support Youngly because Youngly and Charlene are not running for the same position. They are not competitors. They are not rivals. And this other guy said, "We will frustrate you in Mayoral County for this decision." Apparently, you don't know Henry Costa. I told you the other day. If you don't like my view and you don't want to vote for me, that's your damn business. I'm pretty sure I have a better life than you have. You see? I have a better life. Yes, in politics, I follow not just my head, I follow my heart as well. That's the kind of man I am in life. That's why I've made decisions that have affected me personally. When I made a decision when I was inspired by God to call for Justina Tiller to be rescued by Liberian citizens, I knew the risk that it would bring. I knew the risk it would bring to me personally. And it did that. I follow my heart. Most politicians follow their head because it's their interest. I follow my heart. So you see, I follow my heart because a good leader leads by his heart, not just by head. You make decisions using your head for wisdom to determine, but guess what? I follow my heart. That's what I do. So you have to understand me. You don't understand me. If I don't win the Senate election, it doesn't matter to me. I'm a well-educated man. I have tremendous opportunities. I can live anywhere in the world and I can make anything of myself. The woman who won against Musa Belete being chairman is a woman you want punished now because she's supporting him now. Something wrong with you? I tell you the truth. This is what you will always get from Henry Costa. Henry Costa will always tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. This is the man you want. The man that will tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. I'm not your regular, typical politician who can placate you and pacify you and fool you. And what about in my heart, I think it differently. I will tell you the truth. If Charlene Bromsky supports Ellis Cummings, it will not help Cummings in Bassa. Joseph Human Parker will win the votes in Grand Bassa County. It's as simple as that. I follow my heart more than I follow my head when it comes to politics. It's as simple as that. Very, very simple. I'm going to make Charlene my enemy now because Charlene decided to support Billy. That's what I should do. That's what I should do. Make her my enemy. She will not be my enemy. I want Charlene Bromsky in the House of Representatives. And I want Yomdi Kanga Lawrence to still be in our country. Simple. There's no conflict there. It's as simple as that. Every day you will learn Costa. Every day, small. You will learn who Henry Costa is. I will tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. That is who I am. You all know me. I can't stand Billy. I can't stand Musa Ability. It was a terrible decision for Billy to be chairman of the Liberal Party. But I was at distortion. I'm hearing some. I'm hearing some terrible distortion. I don't know what I'm. Hold on. Hello? Okay.
Yep. Trying to look at it quickly. See. Yeah.
All right.
Is it okay now?
Nah. Somebody say you go back up. But you don't understand me. My decisions, nobody makes my decisions for me. Nobody. My decisions are made by myself. I'm a full-grown man. Nobody made me. God made me who I am, and God put me where I am. Now God. I don't go to consult any political leader to make my decision. I do not. Because no political leader made me to be where I am. God put me here. And I follow my heart. I don't follow my head when it comes to certain decisions. I follow my heart. Once my heart tells me it's the right thing to do, that's what I do. The reason I've stood with Youngly all these years, from our very first election against Daniel Chi, is because I've always felt it was the right thing to do. And I do not regret ever supporting Youngly. I don't agree with every decision she makes in the Senate, no, but she's done very well there. And I continue to support her. That's just who I am. I really love myself. I love myself. When it comes to me being able to speak my mind to people, even if they don't like it, and I still go to bed and sleep sound. I love that about myself. And it's a good thing. Tell people the truth. Tell people the truth. Before we go, let me close on this note. Charlene Bromsky was against Musa Belete becoming chairman. All of you here know that. Charlene Bromsky was against Musa Belete becoming chairman. She voiced that out publicly for the whole world to hear it. Today, Charlene is forced to make this decision to support the Belete faction because Charlene wants to ensure that she runs. She does not want to be denied the right to run. All the people who are running for representative and senator from Liberty Party who are loyal to Youngly, Belete will not submit their names to the Elections Commission as candidates to run. You will see. Belete will not submit their names. Belete will deny them. Yeah. You will see. Mark my words. Anybody who is loyal to Youngly, and Youngly got the base, yes, but Belete will deny them. He will not submit the Youngly loyalists to the Elections Commission. He will deny them. Watch and see. That's what Belete would do. He will do that to punish them for their support to Youngly against him. Charlene Bromsky is trying to avoid that. How can I avoid being denied? I have to run. It is my right to run. All right, we'll move on to something else. Like the Liberian people should never expect me to be afraid to speak my mind because some people will be offended. If that's the Costa you want, you will never get this Costa. Never, ever get this Costa. Never. If you don't like that about me, that's your business. You liking me or not liking me does not benefit me in any way at all. As long as God likes me. That's what matters to me. It's as simple as that. You know, when you are so independent in your thought, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Okay. Now I have a situation here we're going to talk about. I have a situation here we're going to talk about. And this has to do with these issues. They take a lot of energy to talk about. But we'll start today. We'll continue tomorrow. Bear with me. Just like fundraisers. Oh, when we do fundraisers, it takes a lot of energy to do it. You just get in the show, you talk, yeah, y'all get money. It takes a lot of effort to do those things. a lot of efforts, a lot of effort to do that. I went to Trenton, New Jersey this weekend, Friday evening. I was invited and asked to serve as the chief launcher for their fundraiser, the Liberian community in Central Jersey, in the metropolitan areas. It was a beautiful ceremony inaugurating the president, the vice president. Mr. Anthony Baye is the president. Mr. Peter Masak was the vice president. So they asked me to do the fundraiser for them, and we did a fundraiser. The COP donated $500. That was our contribution. Those guys are doing a fantastic job there. And I think we raised around, I think, 18,000 US dollars that evening, Friday evening. And afterwards, I had a good time meeting folks. I met some family people I had not seen in over 20 years. I didn't even know they were living right here in Jersey. I knew they were in the States, but I saw them for the first time in over 20 years, and I was so happy to see them. I'm telling you. And I met a lot of wonderful people. I had a good time. And then I had to drive from Jersey to Delaware to attend a gentleman's birthday party, his 40th birthday party. So it was a beautiful event. It was a very lovely event. I got there. I hung out there for a while, and then on to 2 something in the morning, and then I left. But let's talk about this other issue. In 2011, a very decent, hard-working Liberian man, businessman, called Joe Morba. He's an engineer, construction engineer. Mr. Joe Morba has a story that would just make you feel fuzzy inside if you heard his story. Mr. Joe Morba comes from a very humble background, humble beginnings, very humble beginnings. He went to school, he graduated, studied engineering, construction engineering, civil engineering. Mr. Morba took a job here and there, and then eventually he set up his own company called the Musons Group. Baga, do you know the Jamali Diagnostic Facility at EAW Junction?
Yeah.
A beautiful facility, yes. It was Mr. Joe Morba, his company. They constructed that facility. Do you know the Millennium Guest House?
Yeah.
It was also Mr. Joe Morba's company, Muslims Group, that constructed that building. Now, Mr. Joe Morba bought a land on the 11th Street in Sinco in 2011 from a gentleman named Eddie Flan Kennedy. He bought the land. The transaction was done through Mr. Kennedy's lawyer, Councilor Cooper Craw, who is today the Minister of Posts and Telecommunications. On June 21, 2022, 11 years later, now listen, follow the chronology of events. Mr. Joe Morba bought this piece of property on 11th Street, Sinco, prime property. He intends to build a massive building there, his headquarters for his company. He bought the property in 2011 from a gentleman named Eddie Flan Kennedy through his lawyer, Councilor Cooper Craw, now Minister Cooper Craw. On the 21st of June, 2022, this year, 11 years later, a daughter of Mr. Kennedy, in person of Phoebe Flan, she took Zogos to the land at about 5:45 in the morning. 5:45 a.m. on the 21st of June. She went to this land She ransacked the property. They stole equipment, building materials, a lot of things. Mr. Joe Mobile had over $200,000 worth of equipment on this property, materials and equipment. They stole a lot. Mr. Joe Mobile proceeded to court. He filed a case against this woman who claims to be the daughter of Mr. Eddie Flan Kennedy, the man from whom Joe Mobile bought the land in 2011. His daughter, 11 years later, went to make this trouble about it. Listen. Mr. Joe Mobile went to court. Listen to this case, folks. He filed a case against her. The jurors were selected and they were impaneled. A formal indictment was issued against her. She was arrested. Why the matter started? Why the matter was in court? Nobody knows whether she filed a bail bond or not. But why? She was released. Nobody explained as to how she got it released. Mr. Joe Mobile's lawyers were not made aware that the defendant, this Phoebe Kennedy lady or Phoebe Flan, had put that bill. Nobody was made aware. But she got out. Now, yesterday, as in the 31st day of October, Phoebe Flan, this lady, went to the Mayoral City Court and told the Mayoral City Court that she went to claim her property. She went to claim her property and she was threatened by Mr. Joe Mobile and his people. Listen to this. And that she was threatened by Mr. Joe Mobile and his people. So the Mayoral City Court, Honor Judge Jomo Jala's gavel, they issue a writ of arrest. They issue a writ of arrest for Mr. Yeah, I have some honey. Lloyd Chima, thank you. You are so right. I never thought about that. I have some honey here, natural honey. When I'm done with the show, I will go and drink some honey. It helps with the cold. That's true. Thank you, my brother. God bless you. You see, we got good people here. They care about how we feel in our health, not just us coming here and talking for you. Thank you, Lloyd. I appreciate you. So, she went to the Mayoral Court, the Mayoral Court, got a writ of arrest. And she went to arrest Mr. Joe Mobile because Mr. Joe Mobile threatened her when she went to get her properties. The woman took a bulldozer. The woman took bulldozer, yellow machine. I got the picture in the video, yo. The woman bravo. She took bulldozer, went to the property, bulldozed it, destroyed a lot of things with no court order. Then she goes around bragging that you know who protects her? She said Musa Dean, the Minister of Justice, protects her. This woman is breaking the law, destroying private property, bulldozing a property that her father sold 11 years ago. She's claiming the property belongs to her. That her pa should not have sold the property. Her pa sold the property 11 years ago to Mr. Joe Mobile. Listen to this. Now, the case is against her. She went out and claiming that Mr. Joe Mobile threatened her life. So she went and brought a writ of arrest for Joe Mobile. I'm telling you. She came back this time with a front end loader, bulldozer, and started breaking everything down. Okay. You see that? And while she was doing that, she's been telling people, I got the pictures here. I got pictures. I will post them after the show. Jesus Christ. Hell of a woman. So they vandalized and looted the place for us on June 21st. And she came back October 31. Yesterday. Okay. I've got a video here with a yellow machine. Folks, what do you see there? You see the yellow machine? You see the yellow machine?
I'm seeing it. Yeah.
Thank you. That's 11th Street Cinco. This is a yellow machine. Folks, look at it. 11th Street Cinco. There is a yellow machine. The woman came back with a yellow machine on yesterday. 11th Street Cinco right there. See the destruction. See the destruction, the level of damage the woman caused. You see the yellow machine? You see that? She vandalized the entire property on 11th Street. Okay. Vandalized the entire property on 11th Street. The woman is supposed to be in court for vandalizing the man's property on June 21st. While the case is in court, she got arrested and sent to jail without posting bail. Musa Dean ordered that the woman be set free. According to information we have received, Musa Dean called the county solicitor of the county of Mayoral County, who was prosecuting the case, because what she did was criminal, Bwakai. She demolished a property without a court order. Bwakai, only the court can grant you an order to demolish a property. Only the court. We're told that Musa Dean called the county solicitor and told the county solicitor to move her hands from the case to set the woman free after the woman destroyed the people's properties. That's what we're told. Can you imagine about that?
So is her father still alive?
I don't
If
know
yes,
that.
where is he? All of this happening, without he saying anything.
I don't know whether her father is still alive. I don't know. I don't know what her father is still alive. But this is what she did. Folks, this is dangerous. It's a dangerous thing. This woman, Bwaga, would not be brave to go and destroy somebody's property twice. She destroyed the properties first on June the 21st. Then she went back. She went back yesterday and tried to have Joe Mobile arrested and took a yellow machine and destroyed the property again. Can you imagine? This property was in fence. They had materials there to begin the construction work. This woman is a terrible woman. But she is telling people that Musa Dean is the one that's protecting her, the Minister of Justice. And you know what, brother? It makes absolute sense. Because this woman was arrested after the June 21st demolition. She was being tried in court for criminally, mischievously destroying this man's property with a yellow machine and looting it. And somehow she was set free with no bail filed. They did not post any bail, but the woman was set free. Okay. Then she goes back yesterday. She takes a yellow machine. She bulldozes the place again, destroys his property again. Okay. How can we live in a country such as this? Musa Dean needs to speak out about this situation. This woman is going around and she's claiming Phoebe Flan, that's her name, Phoebe Flan, that Musa Dean is protecting her. I don't know the relationship between her and Musa Dean. I do not know. But come to think of it, what would make her this brave, Wakai, to do the things that she's been doing? What would make this woman this brave? I know that property very well. It's on 11th Street. I've been there before. I visited Muson's group office. That property was fenced in. Mr. Joe Moba bought that property from her father since 2011. The lawyer that prepared all the documents, Councillor Cooper Kra, is a well-known lawyer. He is the Minister of Post and Telecommunications today. The woman comes from the clear blue sky, comes out of nowhere, and she says that the property belongs to her. Her father should not have sold it. Can you imagine? Yeah, her father sold a piece of property. She claims that the property is for her. And guess what? Guess whose name was on the deed?
Oh.
Her father's name. It's not her. Your father's name. Like you sold a piece of property to somebody 11 years ago. Then your son or your daughter comes from somewhere and says, no, my passion, I sold you that land. But the property is for you. Only you have the right to sell it, or to bequeath, or to bequeath it to somebody else. But this woman is mad. This woman is crazy. But even more scary than that is the fact that she is telling people that the Minister of Justice, who is supposed to be protecting and ensuring justice in the country, this woman is dropping Musa Dean's name everywhere. Somebody's about to ask me, Costa, do you hear from the other side? Yet it matter, yo. We did our research. She does not have any court order ordering her to demolish the property. Zero. Nobody authorized her to demolish the property. Zero. But what this woman did is terrible.
Very terrible.
Do you know why you have to go to court to get the court to authorize any demolition? You know who does a demo? Even if you believe that somebody is squatting on your property illegally or is claiming your property illegally, you cannot, by law, break that person's property down. You have to go to court.
Yeah.
And the court must rule in your favor, and the court is the one that will send people out to do the demolition or to take your property and give it back to you. It is the court that should authorize that.
Sure.
This woman did not do that. Phoebe Flan is her name. She did not do that. And I'm told she has a terrible reputation. She went there, she demolished this property, no court order, and she tells people, Musa Dean is protecting me. They arrested her, they put her in jail, the case went to court, the woman got free. She did not post any bail. When you commit a criminal offense and you're charged and sent to jail, you can only be set free when you have posted a valid bail bond. She did not post any bond. She did not post any bail. She was set free. Fellow Liberians, we live in a lawless country. You know, when I heard this thing yesterday, I was shocked. I couldn't believe that Musa Dean would be involved in such a thing. I mean, I know Musa Dean is spineless and all, but that Musa Dean would support somebody to break the law in this way, it's just sickening. It beats my imagination. that Musa Dean would do this. It really, really does. Beats my imagination that Dean would do this. But let's go to the lines and take a few calls there, and we will be speaking with the Liberian community, the Liberian Association of Pennsylvania, the newly elected leadership. They're having their inaugural event on the 11th of November in Pennsylvania. They want to come on and just talk about it. We're going to speak with them shortly. But before we bring them on, let's go to the lines and take some calls there. This is Saddle. This is terrible. The woman took a bulldozer, went and but for this kind of behavior, you know how many years a woman should go to jail for? She destroyed properties, and her zogos that she took with her, they looted the people's building materials, their construction equipment. It's just sad. Very, very sad. And she's walking around. Then she had audacity to go back to court, to go to the Mayoral City Court, and to go get a writ and say that she wants to, that the man threatening her life, they should arrest Joe Mobile for threatening her life. Are you kidding me? Musa Dean, this woman is dropping your name around and you are the one protecting her. I will post the pictures and stuff, and I believe I have a picture of her, and I will post it this morning. Musa Dean, you need to tell us, are you the one protecting this woman? Because she clearly seems to be protected by somebody. Somebody very powerful seems to be protecting her. The fact that she's still walking around after she was slammed behind bars for illegally destroying somebody's property says a lot. Okay? Somebody has to be protecting her. Somebody. Let's take some calls. Okay?
All right, 0770-102-102-86-010-383 555-102-102. The WhatsApp number is +231 624171, and the WhatsApp number is +231 888 6241.
This is Saddle. You know, when these things don't happen to you, or when they have not happened to you yet, you'll be like, oh, hey man. But when they happen to you, imagine I buy a property from your father, and the child who was aware that I bought this property from the father, I don't know where the father is. I will find out where the father is. I don't know whether the old man is still alive or whether the old man is dead. I do not know. But for the daughter or the son to come around, to get up one day and come and just destroy my property and claim that, oh, the property belongs to me. My father should not have sold you this place. Can you imagine that? Joe Mobile has been on that property for 11 years. 11 years ago, he bought the property in 2011 from her father. Let's take some calls there, Bagai.
All right, let's take Peter on this line here. Peter, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Borga. Good morning, Henry. I want to thank you for the show. This is Peter Cecil Jr. and I call from Minneapolis. All right, when you started the show, the issue of the other parties on it, I want to speak to it. I know that you don't necessarily agree with everything your brother Ben Samvik and Reddy say, as he claimed to be chairman or advisor for the other party. But he made some statement on the show that Dominicana is no more political leader. I don't know whether he's helping to increase the problem in that period. He was the same person in 2017 or that supported Georgia.
You don't agree with Ben Samvik?
We here in America, culture and another problem. When you advise people, you both talk to one another.
Peter.
Yes.
Can you hear me? This is Costa. Peter.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Youngly Kanga Lawrence, Senator, Senior of Rambasa, is the political leader, the legitimate, moral, political leader of the Liberty Party. You hear me? She is the one, and I
Yes, sir.
support her. So Ben Senvi got your own. Ben Senvi is with a Musa fashion. Ben Senvi is my brother, but he knows he and I don't agree with that whole nonsense. And Ben Senvi, he's entitled to his view. He's a Liberty Party stalwart. I'm not a Liberty Party stalwart, but I stand for what's right. And what's right is that Yombly is the leader of the Liberty Party. And that is the side that I support. But I take one more call, and then we will take our guests.
All right, let's take Tom Will.
One more call.
All right. Good morning.
Hey, brother.
Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, brother. How you doing?
I'm okay. You're alive.
Thank you. I'm Thomas William from Minnesota.
Okay, Thomas.
And
go ahead.
I have this piece of advice for Harry P. Costa, our political leader. Also, be our political leader. And the advice has to do with Charlie and Yombly Kanga. Sometimes, you know, I understand the political, our leader is to be very, very fair and honest to us. But when it comes to politics, there should be some compromises. You understand? Sometimes when it comes to the kind of critical issue, I advise the leader to say, I will consider my follower. I will consider my supporters, and I will make a decision in the future, depending on the prevailing situation. But to always be definitive, to say this, I stand by it. Sometimes some of us, we have problems with it because even Joseph Boaga that we supporting today, after serving as vice president for 11 years, some of us have personal issues. But he's our leader. He continues to encourage us to support Joseph Boaga because we believe him, we follow him, we have made compromises. So when it comes to critical political issues that are very sensitive in nature, I don't expect the political leader to say, I stand by this, I did by that. You know, sometimes we see it as our political leader not able to listen to us. He does not want to listen to us. And I think it's not fair for us. You got to do it a way that the whole.
I want to speak to you.
Tom
leader, yeah.
Okay, listen to Costa.
Let me speak to you, my dear brother. And you know, Tom, well, you know I love you, and you know I appreciate your support and everything. But let me say this to you, Tom. Well, just because you support me and you believe in me, all my friends do not have to be your friends, and all my enemies do not have to be your enemies. You may choose which of my friends to make your friends. You support me. Ben Senvi is my brother, but you don't support Ben Senvi. Am I mad at you for that? No. You support me. It's because of me you support Joe Boaga. You said it yourself. But not everybody in Unity Party you support. You don't. So what I'm trying to say to you is that you do not have to support everybody that I support. And you do not have to agree with everything that I do. Even your wife does not agree with everything you do. Even you do not agree with everything your wife does. But Tom will. There are certain things I know and I see that you do not see because
leader will understand. But what we are saying, there's a critical political national issue. We cannot support Joseph Boaga, and we see somebody who will be campaigning vigorously against Joseph Boaga in Grand Bassa County. And
we're not campaigning against Joseph Boaga in Grand Bassa.
Because Charlie, it is clear that Charles in with PPP going to campaign vigorously for President and campaigning for President coming will not be affected one way or the other.
Okay, Tom Will, thank you so much.
Tom Will, let's wrap this thing up. I want to say this to you. I'm not a member of Liberty Party. I am not obligated to support or to be or to support everybody Yombly supports and to be against everybody Yombly is against. Anybody who propagates that point, you are insulting me. All of Yombly's political enemies will not be my enemy. Charlene Bromsky and Yombly Kanga Lawrence will not get along, so I should be against Charlene because of that. I have friends that Yombly is not friends with. Ben Senvi is my friend. But Ben Senvi and Yombly are political, they're on different sides. So should I end my friendship with Ben Sandy because of that? No. Charlene Bromsky is no threat to my candidate Joe Boakai. No threat whatsoever. Absolutely no threat. And so I say this to you. I defend and support Yombly in her fight to establish her authority as leader of the Liberty Party. And I support Charlene Bromsky in her right to become representative. If anybody is offended by that, I'm very sorry, but I will not change my decision because of that. Your leader has to be able to tell you the truth and stand by it. You call me a leader, I'm wise. I know things that you do not know. I know things inside Liberty, but there are reasons why I make this decision. Charlene Bromsky's father founded this party. He built this party, he put everything into this party to make it what it is today. That Yombly has inherited. That Yombly is the leader of, the legitimate leader of, that I support. But I will not go against Charlene Bromsky, the daughter of the founder of the party, because she wishes to run for representative in her father's party or on the ticket of the party that her father founded. I will not do that. I will not go against her for simply wanting to be a representative on the ticket of the party that her father founded. I will not do that to please anybody. That is Henry Costa. I speak my mind, and even those who do not like me or who support me, if you don't agree with me, it is okay. Charlene Bromsky did not support this very same Billy. Charlene Bromsky warned them against making Billy. They ignored her. She's chairman today. She has to run. She made a decision that is best suited for her own political interest. Yombly Kanga Lawrence is making a decision that is best for her own political interest. You want Charlene to destroy or suppress her own interest for somebody else. I will not do that. Yombly has the right to be VP. Charlene has the right to be representative. They are not rivals. They are not even political equals. Yombly is a big sister to Charlene Bromsky. So I can support the two of them separately. There is no conflict. There is no conflict. And anybody, all the years I've supported Yombly, I have felt it is the right thing to do. And I continue to support her. But if you think I'm going to make Charlene my enemy because of Yombly, you are mistaken. The same way I will not make Ben Sandy my enemy because he supports Musa Bility and Cummings. Ben Sandy is still my brother. I do not support him in his decision to support those people. But should I sever ties with my brother because of his political support for somebody else? I will not do that. I will not make your enemies my enemies. I will not make your friends my friends. But you and I can be allies. That is it. Let me go take my guess. You're still learning Costa. You're not no Costa here. Yo, let me. I can tell you the truth. You don't want me that you're business. I will tell you my side. And I'll tell you the truth. Your enemy will not be my enemy. Who in the Bible said it? Who said what? What was the lady? I will be what? I will. Your house will be your house. Your family will be my family. We're not in the Bible to say I will inherit your family. Your enemy will be my enemy. No. We're not in the Bible. I beg you. Let me go tell I hope you there. You're not even know me yet. You're still getting to me. Good morning, Madam President, and good morning, Mr. Vice President. Good morning, Mr.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You have
There's a story in the Bible. I tell the woman say, your enemy will be my enemy, your house will be my house.
I was enjoying it.
Roof in the Bible.
Yeah, roof.
Again, I want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations once again. You both have become the president and vice president, respectively, of the Liberian Association of Pennsylvania. It's a very large community of Liberians, the largest on the East Coast. And what you've done, you've taken upon yourselves to avail yourselves to the service of our people. And we thank you for that. Congratulations on the election. And the inauguration is coming up. I would have really loved to attend, but unfortunately, we have to be in Minnesota at the same time. But I decided to invite you both on here to just talk about what to expect, the inaugural event coming up and all. So, Madam President, we'll begin with you first.
Thank you, Mr. Costa. And I'm happy to be on your show. I was watching the show from the beginning. And I like your honest opinions. The inauguration is on Saturday, November 12th. Is in Philadelphia. Is on 9130 9130 Academy Road in the northeast part of Philadelphia. It's called the Canister Ballroom. It's going to start at 7 o'clock prompt. Send out invitations to say 6 because we expect arrivals between 6 to 7 p.m. Because we're going to be there until 12 a.m. Our guest speaker is no other than a guy who has been supporting the Liberian community, a Black American, for a long time, and we are very proud of him. And I'm happy to bring him on. His name is Mr. Stanley Slaughter. Mr. Slaughter is the chairman of the board of the commission. Is called the Mayor's Commission on African and Caribbean Affairs. Yes. When we invited him and asked him to be the board chair during one of our meetings, he was delighted to be. He said, I've known that the community, the Liberian community, is a large community in the state of PA, and I've been following and working along. In fact, the Mayor's Commission Board and the Liberians are one of the founders of this Mayor's Commission, and I'm glad to have a good representation, of the community like you on the board, and I'm very, very delighted to come in there and render my services to the Liberian people. So I don't want people to miss that. Yes.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Let's go to the Vice President, Mr. Sandra Johnson. Sir, so this event slated for the 11th, which is on Friday, right? Friday, May 11th, next Friday.
No, it's actually on Saturday.
Oh, on Saturday. Okay, sorry. Okay,
right.
Good. So, you've won now, and you're the leadership for the next 2 years at least. That's the duration of that's the term, right? So 2 years.
Correct. 2 years.
Yeah, and where do we go from here? I mean, there are after the inauguration, of course, I'm pretty sure you guys have already started working in some future capacity or so. But what's the agenda? What's the way forward after coming to power? And what do you expect now?
Well, there is, but firstly, let me thank you for having us on this morning. We are very ecstatic to be on your show, and we want to just express our gratitude to you and your staff for having us on. But briefly, we started working even before we got inducted. And so there are a lot of prospects, but I'll get straight to the point. First on the agenda, we are looking at building relationships and partnerships with people in our community. There have been people from other organizations that have been completely detached from the Liberian Association. And our goal is to bring them on board. We have started engaging them so that they can be a part of a bigger community. Now, there has been a lot said about the Liberian Association being heavily focused in Southwest Philadelphia. So we want to change the narratives. We want to totally spread the association through the breadth and length of the state of Pennsylvania. We want to go through all of the counties. Last Saturday we were in Coatesville, where the Chester County had their inaugural ball. We went there, and so those are the things we'll be doing. We'll be getting involved in the various communities. We'll be engaging people. We'll be building partnerships, because we ran a platform where we may involvement. Just getting, inclusiveness, one of the pillars of our administration. And so we are very committed to that. And we think with the support of the community, we can achieve a lot. So I'll yield back to the president if there's anything else that she wants to add in that direction.
Yes, Madam President. So the other side, these elections were not bitter. It was fair and square. You guys won fair and square, clearly. Are you going to be considering reaching out to the side that did not emerge victorious to see how you can incorporate them in working, not necessarily into positions, but just getting them involved in working to advance the interests of the community as a whole?
Well, yes, I have. We've talked. I've reached out to them, and they've reached out to me, and I'd offer them, to come in and serve on some of the committees we have, and they agreed that for us to work together. This is an association for the Liberian community. It doesn't belong to me; it belongs to the Liberian people. And whether you were opposition or not, you're still a member of this community, I consider. And I've told everybody the campaign is over. It's time for us to work together, to see some progress within our community. And so I've reached out to them and asked them to come aboard. If there are any committees they're interested in, they let me know. If not, I would think on something, and have them come and work along, because we need everybody's idea and expertise in order to be successful. So yes, I have.
That's a very good move. Incorporating everybody is a very good way to go. So after the inauguration, what are some of the things you begin to expect from the new leadership? In terms of your goals, your deliverables.
Well, like my vice president said, let me elaborate a little more on that. We've already started working. It's difficult to progress. It's difficult to go forward when that reconciliation and unity piece is not there yet. And we've come a long way. The community has been fashioned in so many ways. The reason why there are more than 50 different organizations and community leaders in many organizations is because there wasn't one strong organization, the LAP, to bring everybody together, to make everybody to understand. And even with the counties and other organizations, they are also dividing. So my goal is to get to everybody and see how we can unite and come together as one. Because I feel, if we come together and have a voice of one true leadership and a plan moving forward, working together, persistently and consistently, making plans that are sustainable, our organization and our community will be a better place. Right now, I told you first about the mayor commissions of on Caribbean and African affairs that's situated in Philadelphia. Another one is being established in the Delaware County, and they invited me over to join them too. And the commission is open to everyone, so organization heads can come in and join. So I've already contacted them. We called a meeting. My chief of staff, Mr. Fred Guyon, is working on that to have a meeting with all the organizations heads before the inauguration. Let's come to the table and talk about how we can come together and work together moving forward. I'm not going to take power from anybody else. There are other Liberian organizations in other parts of PA, and they've organized themselves. It is good. Everyone wanted to have a sense of belonging somewhere with their community. That's why they did that. And so since we have this central mother organization that they felt, estranged, they haven't been a part of, I decided to call them and bring them on board so that they have coordinators working with us. Every information we have coming from Philadelphia will go to every part of the state of Pennsylvania, because we'll be working with the coordinators and the presidents of those various areas. That's one thing. The second thing is that information sharing is one thing that's important within the community. is a way to get services to the people in the community. There are a lot of social services that are available for our people that don't reach them because, the communication wasn't going too well. Well, Sano and I and the rest of the team, we decided we would do our best to reach services to every community, every Liberian community within the state of Pennsylvania. An example, we met with the Mandingo Muslim community on Saturday. We called them up and asked them to meet along with them. I met with the president, Madam Manduzu, and Sumaru, and we talked about it. And she said, "Yeah, I will take you to meet my people." And we went there. We sat up. We talked. It was quite interesting when I told them about some of the services that have been coming to the community, and I want to spread out because I come from working with an organization that I founded with a friend called the All Liberian that's worked with me, and we provide these services. We worked during the COVID-19, the census project, we're housing the system project, summer program for children and all of that. And one of the ladies said, housing the system project? I said, yeah. She said, what do you mean? I said, well, giving assistance to those who, didn't have work during the COVID or lost the head of the household or lost, people who were supporting them or couldn't afford their rent for some reason or got sick. She said, it happened? I said, yes. She said, I'd never heard it. It never reached to our people. And our people needed help. They were really struggling during the COVID. And I felt bad about that, and because we thought we were reaching out to everybody. But let's say the Liberian community had a responsibility of doing that and reaching out to everybody. And people have received that information, and it would have been better. But because of all the confusion that was going on in the past recent years, they were not focused on things that they needed to do, but their focus was on the lawsuits from other members of the community, and and things, and all of that. But that is the reason so that's number one on our agenda, bringing the services to our people, unifying our people, talking with our people on immigration problems. As a matter of fact, right after the inauguration, the Liberian Association, along with other organizations, are bringing immigration lawyers. We'll be having a conference call on the 16th on the DED and, the pathway to citizenship. I've contacted the USCIS, and they're going to be on there on the conference call so we can talk about how to apply for the DED.
That's very good. That's right.
And all of that. So we are working. We already started working. I've never stopped working for my community, and of course, Mr. Johnson, being a part of various organizations who have been doing it for decades in this community. So we are a good team, and we are asking everybody to come on and join us.
Very, very good, Mr. Vice President. Those are very. I like the fact that the president stressed that before moving forward, you have to ensure that everybody is brought on board to build a cohesive community. There was too much splintering, and as long as people are splintered into small groups all over the place, there's not much you can accomplish. But so that's very, very good. So I just want to say I wish your team the best of luck. You have my support anytime you think you need me to put any word out there for anything that you're doing for our people.
Right.
You can just reach out to me and we'll offer to do that. Mr. Vice President, is there anything you'd like to add to the President just said?
I think the President succinctly touched on all of the pointers that we will be visiting immediately after the inauguration. The latter things will be doing Costa, and she just lay it out. Most likely, we will need your support in terms of information sharing, because the latter things that our people are not aware of, we want to be forceful in terms of linking them with community resources. And so you definitely will be hearing from us. Today would not be the last. And especially she touched on the immigration awareness. That is something that is not only to the benefit of people in the state of Pennsylvania. It should be a Liberian issue in the United States. And I believe it will be on Zoom, and we will be encouraging a lot of people, from other states to participate so that they can just have the basic knowledge of what they need to do in terms of making their status regular in the United States.
That's very, very important.
close on thanking you for bringing us on, and I'll let the president do the parting work.
Okay, Madam President, your parting comments, please.
I want to thank you, Mr. Costa, for bringing us on your show, for making the community to know that we are here to move forward from the beginning, from the campaign time to now. There's no more campaign going on. We want the community to know we are here as leaders and servants of the community. So we want everybody to come on November 12th. November 12th, next week, Saturday, and then 10th, the inaugural ball, and listening to what we have to offer for the community. There will be performances, and there will be remarks, and there will be past presidents that will be recognized, and our mother organization, ULA, will be present there, and members of the representatives and senators and some representatives and councilmen will be there. So I would like everybody to come and listen to what we have to offer for the community. And I thank you for having us on the show.
Thank you very much to the both of you, and I wish you both best of luck and as you strive to serve our people. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Blessed day.
Bye-bye. Well, folks, there you have it. This brings us to a close of today's edition of the show. But before we go, I just want to say something to you. We will never agree on everything. Never agree on everything. And you have to understand that we will always never agree on everything. There will be times we will disagree. And that's normal. In your households, in your homes, you and your spouses, your wife or your husband, you do disagree on issues. We take positions. Most people in politics, their positions are always about their interest. For me, it's not always about my interest. It's different. It's about what's right. And most times I follow my heart. I follow my heart. And I do what I believe is right and what's just, what's fair. And so I guess some of you may be offended by me stating my position. You should rather have a leader that tells you exactly how he feels than a leader who pretends, who lies to you, who deceives you. You expect me to come in and say one thing to you, but why I do something else behind your back? I'm sure you would not appreciate such a leader. I'm sure you would appreciate me telling you exactly what I think, what I feel, so that if you don't like it, you can tell me that you don't like it. But you have to understand, I am human just like you. And we're not exactly the same. We don't exactly think the same way. And even if we did think the same way, we will always never do things the same way. So I just want you to know that. So if you're offended, I'm sorry that you are offended by my decision. But I stand by my decision because I believe it is just and it is fair. My support for Joseph Boakai is firm, and there's nothing that will shake that. And my support for Joseph Boakai has nothing to do with you. Nobody made me support Joe Boakai. I decided to support Joe Boakai. I have a lot of supporters who don't support Joe Boakai. But should I say, oh, because I have supporters who don't support Joe Boakai, so I shouldn't support Joe Boakai? You know? So your view on Liberty Party be my view on Liberty Party. And I have supporters who support Musability. I have supporters who, who support Youngly. So should I say, okay, I will not come out to support Youngly because my supporters that support Bility would be offended? No, that's not the way life works. My supporters who support Bility will support Bility. It is their right to do that. I have COP people who support Bility. I don't go be blasting them. I have not severed ties with them because they support Bility. I struggle to understand why they support Bility. because Bility is a bad man. He's not a good person. But then again, it is their right to support Bility. I respect their right to support Bility, even though I don't agree with it. I support Youngly because I believe it is a just, fair thing to do. What Bility is doing to Youngly with the support of George Weah is wrong. It's unacceptable. You understand? So people will have to understand me. Every day you have to understand me. I will not make a decision just because it will make everybody happy. I am not an ice cream salesman. I'm not selling ice cream. The only man that makes everybody happy is the guy who sells ice cream. I do not sell ice cream. I sell my values. I sell my beliefs. That's what I sell. And so you will not always agree with my values or my beliefs. But ultimately what I fight for is what you believe in. A Liberia that works for all of us. Oh yeah, Priscilla Abraham Cooper, you are a big supporter of my sister Youngly. You are a stalwart. In fact, you are one of the executive committee members of the Liberty Party. I have a great deal of respect for you. This is not about truth or not truth. This fight between Bility, who represents the evil forces, between Bility and Youngly, this is clear. Youngly is only fair. Youngly's fight is fair and just. That's why I stand with Youngly, not because she's the wife of my late friend Adolph Lawrence. Adolph was the one who was my friend. Youngly and I would just know each other from a distance, but Adolph was a good friend of mine. I loved Adolph, and Youngly's side has always been just, and I believe I have a duty to stand with people who are fighting a just fight. And so, Priscilla, you probably don't get this because you are in the Youngly camp, and you are in the right camp, Priscilla. You are. That's the right camp that you're in. You are doing the right thing. But you have to understand that I'm not a member of your party. I support your political leader in her fight, which I believe is just and is fair. It's the right thing to do. I'm morally obligated to do that. But I will not be against Charles Bronson's daughter for picking the other side. I will not. I will not. And I will encourage Charlene Bronson to not come out and attack Youngly. Charlene will not do that. Will not do that. She should not do that. And I would never in coming out to attack Youngly. I would never support her to do that. And I think Charlene knows best. She would not do that. It would be unwise to attack the legitimate political leader of the Liberty Party, Senator Youngly Kanga Lawrence. But if you all expect that anybody that is your enemy will be my enemy, you are mistaken. My enemies are not Youngly's enemies. So why should you expect your enemies to be my enemies? Sometimes people ask too much of you. That's asking too much of me. I've done enough already. So Charlene is my choice for representative. Youngly Kanga has my support as the political leader of the Liberty Party. There's a big difference. If Charlene were running against Youngly, I would still support Youngly as political leader. Just so you know that. I hope you understand that. Thank you very much, and you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.